you tired of wasting half your day fighting distraction? Well, today we're talking about 6 weird habits that highly focused people use during work to enter deep focus on command. Because they're not superhumans. They don't achieve hyperfocus with willpower or motivation. They do it with tiny systems, rituals, and behaviors that rewire their brain for focus and deep work. And guess what? There's no reason you cannot do the same. So let's dive in. The first habit is the focus ritual. Highly focused people tend to start every deep work session exactly the same way. Same place, same drink, same setup, and often the exact same working tools open in the exact same sequence. And at first, this seems pointless, kind of compulsive. But psychologically, repetition creates automation. Research on habit formation has found that repeated behaviors within stable contexts gradually become automatic. In other words, the brain doesn't need as much effort to initiate the behavior. And this is a game changer for focus, because starting is one of the hardest parts of deep work. Most people try to force it and struggle, but hyper-focused people remove the decision entirely. The ritual becomes the cue. And over time, the brain starts associating that carefully crafted sequence with focus itself. It's mental conditioning, and it's a powerful tool. But there's another weird habit that makes this conditioning even stronger. The second habit is listening to music on loop. Highly focused people often listen to the exact same instrumental track during deep work. Not a playlist, not shuffle songs, one single instrumental track repeated over and over. And at first this sounds insane, doesn't that repetition become distracting? But actually, it's just the opposite. Because novelty captures attention, but predictability frees it. With a playlist, every new song creates tiny cognitive shifts, new rhythms, new emotional tones, and your brain keeps reacting to them. So instead of helping you focus, the music ends up distracting you. But when the same instrumental track repeats enough times, the brain stops actively processing it. It fades into the background, which creates a stable, attentional environment. And over time, something even more interesting happens. The music itself becomes a focus trigger. The moment the song starts, the brain recognizes the pattern and deep work begins. This is why many programmers, writers, designers, and students become obsessed with one specific soundtrack. And it works, not because that specific song is magic, but because the conditioning has done its work. For example, back in my college days, I studied with Vivaldi's Mandolin Concerto in C major, playing over and over. It worked great. Do you have any personal favorites yourself? Leave a comment down below. But even with the perfect ritual and the perfect soundtrack, most people still destroy their focus with one simple mistake: their screen. The third habit is the single window. Highly focused people rarely engage in deep work with multiple windows visible on their screens. So no split screen, no floating tabs, no second monitor filled with distractions. One task, one window, full screen, and the dog always hidden, of course. Now, some tasks require more than one app at the same time, in which case the best advice is to only open as many apps as you need, and ideally to keep them all open and fixed in their own location for the entire duration of the focused work session. Why? Because every time you hunt for a new app or a new tab introduces the risk of distraction. Now, this habit matters much more than people realize, because every single pixel on your screen that is not geared towards your task is geared towards temptation. And even if you don't realize it, your brain keeps checking all of it, looking for an excuse to stop. And research on task switching shows that even brief attentional shifts carry massive cognitive cost, meaning that every glance fragments your focus. And let's be real. We use devices that are designed to encourage this fragmentation. So instead of relying on self-control, hyper-focused people make their lives easier by reducing their visual options. However, we still haven't talked about the object that can be more distracting than all the open windows combined. You know what it is, right? The fourth habit is the phone exile. Highly focused people don't just silence their phone or put it in focus mode. They do that, and then they physically remove the device from their visual field, at least during their deep work sessions. So they leave it inside the jacket, hanging behind them, or inside a drawer, or if the setting allows it, in another room. Because research has found that the mere presence of a smartphone near you reduces your available cognitive capacity. The mere presence, even when the phone is turned off and even when you're not using it, it's constantly distracting you because your brain keeps checking on it, and this creates an attentional drain all day long. And by the way, this applies to smartwatches too, so if you have one of these, you either turn off all notifications during deep focus or you must take it out of the picture too. But hyper-focused people don't stop there. Because before many of them even begin deep work, they do something that seems completely unrelated to focus. The fifth habit is the pre-focus walk. Before starting mentally demanding work, especially a few hours into the working day, many highly focused people go for a short walk. 5-10 minutes, sometimes longer, and importantly, they do that without digital distractions. So no phone, just movement. At first, this seems counterproductive. Wouldn't it make more sense to start working immediately? It doesn't, because movement changes brain state. You see, research consistently shows that walking improves cognitive performance, attention, and executive function. And psychologically, walking acts like a transition ritual. It separates reactive mode from focus mode, which matters a lot. Because deep work immediately after stimulation is like trying to run on ice. The attention is too fragmented, so the focus doesn't take hold and you keep slipping. But walking changes that. It slows down the nervous system. It creates mental space. And once the mind settles, focus becomes dramatically easier. This is why so many professionals and students pace before working. Some even do it while studying. But even with all these systems in place, distractions still appear. But hyper-focused people have found a weirdly effective way of dealing with them. The sixth habit is the distraction notebook. Highly focused people often keep a small notebook beside their keyboard while working. It's not for journaling, it's not for planning, it's for distractions. As I explained in one of my previous videos, distractions are an essential component of the focus loop. They're gonna happen. They're unavoidable. The problem starts when you interact with them. One thought becomes one browser tab becomes a click a scroll, and just like that, 5 minutes are gone. The result? Your attention is fragmented and you're back to square one. And when this happens over and over, well, you probably know how it feels. Highly focused people don't let this happen. Whenever an intrusive thought appears, they don't act on it. They write it down. 1 to 3 words, no analysis, no judgment, no trying to solve the thought. They just name it and they're free to go. Why? Because the moment you name the thought, you move it from your brain's emotional center into your logical prefrontal cortex. And just like that, you distance from it. The loop is closed, the frustration is gone, and in less than a second, you're ready to focus back on your work. Just think about it. The impact of this habit over a whole working day is massive. So what do all these 6 habits have in common? They all reduce mental friction. That's the real secret behind deep focus. Hyper-focused people don't rely on willpower or motivation because they don't need to. They design settings and rituals that make focus the natural consequence. They reduce visual noise, uncertainty, temptation, and in a world engineered to fragment attention, those tiny reductions compound massively over time. Give it a try, and I guarantee that 1 week from now, you'll never look back. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.